I want to know, what did you think of the opening, Eric?
Hi, this is not Anna DiTomaso. I wish.
We
I
need to get better at
wish.
this. We need to be better about the intros thing here.
I know, right? But we
No,
did.
it's
The music
amazing.
does it.
It pumps me up, though.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
ready
good
to
music.
go.
Special guest this week. Anna's in mourning for the loss of her Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
Yeah.
And we
My
feel for
bad.
her. We feel for her. We're sorry, Anna. And
Yes
so,
and no. Yes and no.
No. Okay.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest.
But who's here drinking from his Tri-Cities Dust Devil cup in front of one of the most famous hat collections there is? I'm not ranking these two hat collections here.
Look at you two, though. Hi.
No, my hat collection is this is by accident. This is not a concentrated effort like
This
yours.
is by him being, forced into buying hats. And like, Paul, I found this one.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope Pat Larson, who has already commented here, notices the hats that we're wearing. So how would one introduce Eric Mertens aside from saying minor league baseball royalty?
Yes.
Stop it.
Right
In-game
there.
host, longtime peanut guy with the Tri-City Dust Devils. What do we? Oh, you got a Dust Devil shirt. We're all wearing our Inland Empire 66ers caps because Pat Larson's Hat History series
That's great.
took on the Inland Empire 66ers tonight. So Eric, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Any chance to hang out with you two and the good people who are commenting. Oh my gosh, like I know all of you. I've met all of you in person online. This is just a great time. So shout out to Anna. I love you. Thanks for letting me take the spot today. I can't replace you by any means, but this is fun.
You don't have the 1-900 number voice that,
No.
that Anna brings.
I do not.
Responsible for the namesake of this TV show or of this show.
Is it? Is that?
Yes, that's how we became Curved Brim After Dark.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. She has the best voice. Like literally, I would listen to her read the phone book, but the fact that it's about baseball, when she talks,
Right.
And it's so funny because it's like, even Darla has said, it's like she has a voice, and you, Paul, said it's like, an NPR voice.
Yeah.
So I was with my friend Song. I was staying at her house on the way home. The night after I went to the Dust Devils game, I stopped and I stayed in Salt Lake City at Song's house, and we were doing this very show. And Anna was talking, and my friend Song she said, "Who's that? What's that voice?" And I said, "Oh, that's my friend Anna. She sounds like she could be on NPR, huh?" And Song says, "Yeah, or a phone sex line."
Take your pick.
And that is how we became Curved
Brim
After
After Dark.
That's amazing. I was wondering because I'm still here in Washington on the West Coast. I'm like, how late is it where you guys are? Is it?
Yeah, well,
it's 9 o'clock for me.
Fort Collins right now. So,
dark. Yeah.
So who knew back in the last time we were all talking? Who knew that all three of our teams would still be playing baseball?
Woo! Sorry, Patrick. I'm going to just.
Yeah, there we go. Oh. I did it again. I didn't bring a Phillies hat down, but that is because all of my Phillies hats jinx things. I can't wear.
You just got to get more hats then. That's the only.
So I said this, and I'm going to include your team as well. Whoever out of our teams make it out, the furthest into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll buy a dad hat from that team.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to do.
This is
hopefully it's my team, and then I'll buy one from my team.
You buy another one. Yeah.
This is the first direct communication between Amy and Eric. I'm hoping there's going to be lots more.
That's right.
This is
gosh.
Ranger Amy of Baseball by Design wildlife consultant fame.
Talk about a great voice. I love her. I've been catching up on Baseball by Design, and I'm loving her segments. Segments.
Thank you. Yes, Amy's great, and she knows her stuff. That's for damn sure, huh?
Also,
no kidding.
You got called out, Paul.
I got called out.
Yeah, on Twitter.
What did I do?
I was like, Body Ranger Amy.
That was funny. Someone posted, "Do you sleep with a fan?"
And... Yeah. Your retweet was epic.
I thought that was funny.
And then Amy got you. So
That's fine. Amy's quick on the draw.
yeah, she is. Yes, she is. I was like, got him.
Got him.
Got him.
Oh my gosh. So much to talk about. Holy smokes.
All right, where do you want to start today? I'm gonna leave it up to you. I don't have a list today,
Well,
so I'm leaving it up to you.
Let's talk about the fact that all three of our teams are playing here. It's, look, I know it was a bitter pill to swallow. That I was like legitimately bummed for the Mariners after that loss, because I was like, this is I mean, I had a formative experience at a Mariners Braves game in Seattle this summer. Had a great time, and I've even said early on when that poll went out, who are you rooting for in the American League? I said the Mariners. I said I'd like to see the Mariners do well. And so I was like, oh, they're
not my team. We're friends. Not my team. Didn't even mention my team. No one has mentioned my team that they're rooting for. It's everybody. America's team is the Mariners.
We need it.
You saw when Anna put out who should I root for now that the Rays are gone. And I was like, well, I know there's no convincing you to root for the Phillies.
No.
Did she put out a poll? She put out a poll, right? And I don't know if the Mariners were an option on that.
They were not an option because it was it was only for Curve Brim Media members.
Oh, okay.
Which
I didn't win.
I just feel like an honorary family member. So I was,
So I was like, well, I can't, there's no way I'm convincing her to. No one's rooting for the Phillies unless you grew up in Philadelphia, right?
I love the Phillies. This is why all my friends from the Philadelphia are amazing people, and they're all diehard Phillies fans. So
see, that's why everyone says you're such a great guy, Eric.
I know,
People
right?
say it all the time, and it's because they say, well, he says nice things about Phillies fans, and that's really what matters.
Well, granted, all of my Philly friends except one don't live in Philly. A lot of them live in Washington. You live in Colorado, so they're all like displaced, like not displaced. That's the wrong word. What's the term? What's the term?
Displaced is
displaced. I will go with
dysphoria. Dysphoria. Am I saying that right?
Diaspora.
There it is, diaspora. Thank you. There's my graduate theology degree not coming into work.
Anyway. That's funny. So I mean, look, it's been 11 years since the Phillies were in a playoff series. Eric, I know I don't need to tell you that, right? Like that's
was it 21 years?
Yeah. And just like that, in 1 week, now the Angels and who else have the longest drought now?
Tigers,
Angels and the Tigers. Yeah.
So
I could have never thought that.
I wanna know, Eric, what was a bigger moment for you? Was it Cal Raleigh hitting the home run that put the Mariners in the playoffs?
Yes.
Or are you waving? Are you waving at Karina right now?
I am.
Bring her in for hello.
Bring
hello,
her in.
Everyone wants to see. She's wearing her Dust Devils hat and an apron, so she looks like Eric the Peanut Guy, only better.
Yeah.
She'll be here in a second. She's getting dinner ready.
Mrs. Eric the Peanut Guy. I love it.
But this fits perfectly because option one was Cal Raleigh's dinger.
Cal Raleigh's home run, putting the Mariners in the playoffs for the first time in 21 years. Or the Cal Raleigh home run. There. Oh, look at this.
Look at her.
Yeah.
Look, so great. Hi, Karina. How you doing? Congratulations on finally making an honest man of Eric.
Finally.
Congratulations on your wedding. You guys are the best. You're among my favorite couples.
Love it.
Oh gosh. It was great to have you here. Come back.
I love talking about the fact that I got to be the first guest in the guest bedroom at the
Ed, you need to come stay in the. That's right. You need to come stay in the Paul Caputo commemorative guest room.
I'm glad you didn't call it the memorial suite.
Yeah, this close from saying that.
Listen, if I don't see a plaque now when I go visit, I'm not.
I'll bring one with me next time I'm there. I'll just after everyone goes to bed, I'll just put it up over the bed.
All right, it's like this is me now.
Well, okay. So Paul just asked us if the bigger moment was Cal Raleigh's homer to clinch a playoff spot, or Cal Raleigh's homer in the first inning against Toronto. Is that right?
Well, what was it? Did Cal? What was the? I'm sorry, no. What was the bigger moment for you? Making the playoffs or winning that first round series?
Hmm.
Dang. Making the playoffs was the energy was like, I've never experienced anything like that.
And you guys were there, right?
Literally.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah, being there, that's a big difference. That's a big difference.
you could tell everyone had chills, but everyone was smiling.
Crying.
Yeah.
We went on our honeymoon to Victoria, British Columbia, which, by the way, is my favorite place in the world. And it feels like it's in Europe, but it's literally right next to Washington State. Like if the country border kept going, it would be in Washington. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then we said, well, let's catch a Mariners game on the way back because Seattle's on the way back to the Tri-Cities. And we happened to pick Friday to go. And the week leading up, I'm like, holy crap. And we were listening to the games. We're like, Friday could be the day. And we were lifelong Mariners fans. I was in high school last time they clinched. You were probably in grade school. There's a little bit of age difference. It's legal. Don't worry about it. But anyway, we were there. We both thought of our parents who have passed, who taught us the love of the game. Her mom was a huge Mariners fan. My dad was a big fan. And so anyway, it was a pretty magical moment. So awesome. We'll have to go with that one.
I think it's fair. It's like, because I had this conversation with Amy, actually, who, when the Phillies clinched, it was like, for me, I think it was the opposite, right? Because when the Phillies clinched, it was like, oh, thank God, like, because they had sort of backed into the playoffs, right? Like, and it was just sort of like, a relief, but it was almost sort of like embarrassing. It's like, okay, Major League Baseball lowered the bar to allow us in, like this sixth seed, and
someone has to be the first sixth seed,
and we made it in because the Brewers couldn't beat the Marlins, and it was just like, okay, like, we'll take your gift, thank you. And so, like, when the Phillies clinched that last playoff spot, it was fun, and it was like, okay, that's a relief. And I was just like, everything from now on is gravy. And then sweeping the Cardinals with that ridiculous comeback in the ninth inning of Game 1, right? Like, so scoring 6 runs in the ninth inning.
That was intense.
The Cardinals were 93-0 in similar situations leading up to that. The Phillies were 0-54 in similar situations leading up to that.
I did not know that.
Somehow win this game on like some squeakers that make it through the infield. That, and then shutting them out the next night on just like, these are absolutely games that the Phillies would have lost, so many years ago.
The stars were aligned.
The stars aligned. I had a far bigger reaction to the Phillies knocking the Cardinals out of them. Oh, bye, Karina. That was fun.
Okay, bye.
See you again.
Love you.
We love you.
I had a way bigger reaction to the Phillies advancing against the Cardinals than I did with them just making the playoffs. Yeah. And it wasn't 20 years, but 10 years is still a pretty good.
I mean, yeah,
that's a long time still.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Ed? Clinching the division or advancing out of the first round?
Well, I kind of already knew that we were going to win the division, so I was like, okay, we got this. It's cool.
Yeah.
Right. Because I had already found out that Detroit had beaten the White Sox, so we had clinched it, so that was good. Right. So I knew in advance. For me, it was when we won the series against Tampa, and it was that extra long game, and it was more of like exercising the demons. I'm like, I swore, and I said, finally, this game is over.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that all we needed to do was Oscar Gonzalez putting on Sandy Alomar's belt, and so he could hit a home run. That's all we needed to do.
That's all you need. That's all you need. That's amazing. I did not know that detail.
No, I mean, I listen again. We're not superstitious here. We're just
superstitious.
Yeah. That's right. Well, Paul, you bring up something though, because for those of us whose teams have been out for so long, the Phils and the Mariners, literally, I do believe this. I mean, everyone just breathed a sigh of relief, but it was more than that. It was like 21 years of memories, of heartache, of pain, of our loved ones who aren't here anymore, who are Mariners fans. I mean, that's the beauty of the game of baseball, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was that for the Phillies too.
Yeah.
And so I would have been happy just getting to the playoffs. But there is something that getting past the first round legitimizes.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
And,
totally.
And I felt that same way until 8 2/3 innings yesterday too. And so the one at bat, and even though Houston's an amazing team, and we all saw it coming, every single one. Karina and I were in a sports bar with a bunch of Mariners
saw
fans.
it. I knew as soon as
That's how the Houston Astros win playoff games. Of course, it was going to happen. But the fact that we come out and just knock Verlander out of the game,
right?
We're not some wannabe team that sneaked in there. Like we're a good team, and so I think, and the Astros players knew that, but I think it helped legitimize, even though we lost, and whatever. But we're just happy.
So, go ahead, Ed.
Well, I was just going to ask, whether or not so far, do you think that this playoff system, the way that it is set up now, do you like it more the way that it is set up, right? With a 3-game series instead of just a 1-game, winner advances, loser goes home.
I like the 3-game. I like the 3-game series for the wild card.
Yep. So do I.
Yeah, me too.
It does seem a little bit uneven that 2 of the 3 division winners get a bye. And the third one does not. Like, it seems like there should be an advantage to winning your division for all 3 teams. I don't want them to expand the playoffs any further. I mean, to me,
I think this is enough. I don't think they should expand it anymore.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get why they did it. It's more revenue. I mean, come on now. Like, I mean, it was a full weekend of, and I can compare it to like the first weekend of March Madness, right? When you have all these teams, all in one weekend, and you're just watching game after game after game.
Yeah.
It was the same feeling for me.
Right.
It was awesome.
Right. I will say that just want to make the playoffs, don't want to be like, especially after the Mariners won. I'm like, please don't let the Phillies be the team with the longest drought. Like, I don't do that every single year. And and so winning that series, and now, but you get greedy, right? Like, because with every game you win, you're like, there's still another thing, and you're never going to be okay with your team losing. And so, and for me now, especially with the Braves being a division rival, and the defending world champions, and just one of the things I've noticed too is, like, I feel like I've seen a lot of people say that there's been like real vitriol between like Mariners fans and Astros fans on Twitter. And I haven't really seen it that much, but to be honest, I haven't seen it with Phillies and Braves either, which is funny because I feel like those 2 fan bases really like genuinely dislike each other, especially when you live in the place, right? Like, I think it's easier to be like a more sort of like, low key sports fan when you don't live in the city with the teams that you root for, in a way. So I will say, Eric, that I was with my buddy Chris the night they clinched.
Oh, he's your Mariners fan.
He's
friend,
my Mariners
right?
buddy. He's my running buddy.
Yeah.
And they,
cool.
We went for a run. We got some pizza. I brought some Rainier beer over, which he didn't drink.
Yes.
Only I was drinking the Rainier beer.
I'm proud of you.
He likes the earwax beer. And so,
wait. I don't want to interrupt you, but I just listened to your Hillsborough Hops episode, and I know all those guys because we were anyway.
Sure.
But I love the fact when you said, I'm not much of an IPA guy. I was like, thank you. God bless you.
Neither am I.
Right here. Yeah.
Anyway. I'm not an IPA guy.
I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum here, but
I did.
Anyway, so sorry. So you were drinking Rainier, but he was not.
He was not. So we're just, and like I got myself like just sort of caught up in that, right? So let's see. He says, hit Acuna and you're going to pay for it. Has something? All I see is first and second, 2 outs.
It's 1-0 now, Bravos.
Is it? Okay. I hear Patrick agrees. So
you know what? Listen, I'm with John on this one. We haven't fought, right? I have Donnie is also a Yankees fan. There's a lot of people that I know that are Yankees fans, that I get along with. However, I have seen a lot of just nasty tweets and posts out there. Just like, I don't understand why there's so much hate towards the Guardians. Like, I don't get it. Like, Yankees are a good team. Yeah. Over 50% of their runs come from the home run ball. I mean, you guys are legit good. calm down.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't lick
God.
the frog is right. I hope Amy is still listening here. Don't lick the frog. That's the valuable lessons you're going to get from baseball by design.
Amy just saved Philip's life.
Yeah, Amy
Probably.
just saved Philip's life, and probably some dogs out there who love
Yeah.
licking frogs, I guess.
No, you're so right, man. Like, hey, Michael, what's up, man? Hey, Mike. Yeah, there is so much vitriol on Twitter, and Jim Christopher and I were texting yesterday. He's the biggest Astros fan I know. I might be one of the biggest Mariners fans he knows, and we're legitimately friends. But he, has strong opinions about his Astros. I have strong opinions about my Mariners. But it's just social media in general. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I was a communications major at Gonzaga in 2000. Well, I graduated in 05. And so Facebook was just coming out like in 04, 05. And I remember in our communications media class, we actually had a conversation about, is social media, this new thing, going to be good for bringing people together, or is it going to be more divisive? And all the experts were doing studies on it saying, well, we need to wait a few years to find out. And I think we could say it's done both, but now we have a much clearer perspective on it. Like, thank God Twitter brought Jim and I together, but also it's bringing a bunch of
all of you
stupid things together. Yeah.
Right. I got to meet every single one of you guys that I've spoken to. I got to meet.
Right.
So I've been very blessed for sure. Also, by the way, I have a communications degree as well.
So, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Good job.
I drink my water.
Yeah, this is water too, I promise.
But you're right though. Like, I mean, it has a lot of cool things and good things about it, but at the same time, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. That's just like putting a lot of hate out there. So, and I also texted Jim, and I'm like, all I said as soon as that happened, I was like, all I texted was, "Whoa."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for you because I'm like, oh my God.
Thanks. Yeah. Like Karina and I literally were watching it happen. Like one runner gets on, like, oh, well, this is the tying run at plate now. Two runners get on. They bring in Robbie Ray. And I don't know the Astros lineup, but I was like, oh, that's Albert. Yeah, he's going to hit a home run. Like,
you knew it.
Yeah. That's what the radio broadcasters were saying. They were just like, they were at the very beginning of the inning. They're like, Jordan Alvarez bats fifth this inning. Yeah. Keep him in the dugout.
Yeah.
Do not let
3
him
outs. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit the sweet spot too. That was upper deck.
Hey, listen. There's no reason to put Eric through that.
Pat, you are the nicest guy.
See what I'm saying?
Pat and I smack talked so much during that Blue Jays Mariners
so
series.
Much hate. That's hilarious.
Then we bonded immediately afterwards because HatHeaven.com released 60 minor league hats of like old logos, like unused minor league hats. And he brought the Tri-City Adams to my attention.
Wow.
And
did you get it?
Anyway, I got it. Thanks to Pat, I got 3 more. Don't tell my wife might be listening still. But Pat got like 8 hats. So hopefully his significant other isn't listening. Anyway,
do we bring up the okay, Eric Mertens, one of the most positive, life affirming, minor league baseball affirming people in the world. Look at you with the Mariners cap and the Mariners Cup. I love this.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. This one's not water.
What? My coworker has a cup that says probably tequila on it. I love it. What do you think, Eric, of this minor league baseball Marvel collaboration?
Yeah. Ooh, good question. First off, I was in a sour mood all day, not related to this, but I just had a bad day at work. And so if Karina could hear you, she would have laughed out loud when you say the most nice, positive person. Because I have been. Oh, yeah, there she is. Yeah. I've been in a bad mood. Thank God, literally, for minor league baseball and our friends, because some days it's the only thing that gets me through. But anyway, Marvel. Okay, so I've been able to see the behind the scenes stuff with the Dust Devils and our Marvel logo for the past year and how they're working on it. And they brought me in for some of the conversations. I don't work in the front office, but they share stuff with me. And so I've known it's coming and I've seen ours. I really, really like ours.
Mhm.
You can tell different artists have been doing some because some are a little more cartoony, almost like kid cartoons. And then some are a little more gritty, like a comic book. And neither of which are what we're used to on hats. They're not Brandiose, they're not Todd Radom, they're not any of your other good friends, whose names are escaping me right now, but I love their work. Erie Seawolves, Hillsboro Hops. Paul, help me out.
Dan Simon?
Yes, I love Dan Simon. Dang it. Sorry, Dan. Your name just...
My close personal friend, Dan Simon?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't believe he's the one I forgot. Anyway, so for what they are, I think they're really good, especially the ones that look like comic book characters. A few of them have really been cool. Like, I really like Somerset's. Wichita's, I think, might even be better than their actual logo. And hopefully Eric Prophet won't kill me for saying that. But so some of them are great. However, when you see them on a hat, they're not quite what we're used to. And so there's kind of like does that belong on a hat? Or does it belong on an art print?
Right. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
One of them that I will say this. I love the logo. I don't love it. I like the logo, but it looks horrible on the hat. Is the Bisons.
Oh, yeah. I was so excited because the logo looks amazing.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm going to buy that hat. And then when they showed the hat, I was like, I might buy that hat.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just, and then I saw the Durham Bulls, and then I was like,
the Durham Bulls one is wackadoodle.
What in the actual HE double hockey sticks is this thing?
Good say that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was like, what is this atrocious logo?
Yeah. I gotta say, it's this in general, this program is a bit of a whiff for me. It's I haven't like I have not seen one where I'm just like, oh, I gotta have that on a hat or a shirt or something, right? Like I just haven't seen one. And
can I ask you, Paul, as the logo guy, did you see the Wind Surge, the Wichita Wind Surge?
I'm not sure if I did actually.
And I'd love to, because it stood out to me. Like it looked different than any of the others.
I don't know what the Birmingham Barons are doing.
The Birmingham Barons was one. Like, why didn't they go with their actual Baron character?
The Chihuahuas is kind of hilarious because I kind of like it because it has like the head on fire. Kind of hilarious. Fort Wayne Tin Caps, I absolutely don't know what that is.
It's Johnny Appleseed with a cape.
Yeah, that's Johnny Appleseed.
Harrisburg
and like
Senators,
wielding his pot like a weapon.
Right. Yeah. Harrisburg Senators is not bad, but it's just a logo.
Right. Well, that's the difference, because I think what we're saying here is that logos look good on hats, fully developed with like, and again, Paul, I don't know the language like you do, but the fully developed with shading and grit and dark areas might not look good in a hat, especially with like thread. That's what Brandiose is so good. They talk about how the thread actually works and the stitching on hats. And,
I mean, a logo is meant to be simple, right? Like a complicated logo is just an illustration.
Tell that to the rock.
That's a good quote, Paul. That's a good
Thank
quote.
you. Thanks. Someone write that down. Hang on a second. I gotta go.
Complicated logo is just an illustration.
Yeah.
Ooh,
well, I've had clients.
Scott, like Paul Caputo.
I've had people like come to me, right? Like I've had people come to me with like, okay, we had a professional design firm create this logo for us, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice. And then they're like, but then our scientists got hold of it, and then they showed me this like drawing on lined paper, and I'm just like, yeah, like put it on canvas and frame it, right? But like, don't don't try to make it a logo.
No.
So, I mean the Wind Surge one, I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I happen to like the Wind Surge's actual logo because I'm a Todd Radom fan. But
can we talk about the Syracuse Mets?
The scandal.
That franchise is a friggin' disaster. Everything about that franchise is a disaster.
I mean, could you not? and from what I understand that this was designed by MLB, right? Like, I mean, MLB's
Yeah.
involved in this. How did you not know that you have another team that you designed? Right? Like, I mean, come on, dude.
Well, and then I mean the Otterbots logo when it came out, and then I've
Autobot
heard
played it perfectly.
right, and Austin Scher, is it Scher? Sure.
Sure.
Austin.
Sure.
Yeah, Austin Scher. I mean, he's talked about it on some podcast I've read about it that they wanted to go for like a comic book feel because it's supposed to be like a superhero Otterbots vibe, kind of transformer, right? And
Autobots
so
roll out, yeah.
they did it, but they made it work in a logo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Some of these, like, but you know which one I like, and I know you guys are probably gonna the Space Cowboys. Do you
It's
know why
pretty
I
cool.
like this one though?
Can I guess?
Yes.
here we go.
When I just saw that right before we jumped on, and I thought that looks almost exactly like their real logo. And they just like expanded it. They showed the body of the character.
You remember the show Silverhawks? Back
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Silverhawks. That's what I remember.
Oh, cool.
Shane and I had a very nice Twitter message exchange, and I'm sorry, Shane, for throwing your Syracuse Mets under the bus.
Oh, no.
They can't be the Syracuse
Oh,
Mets.
no.
Don't be the Syracuse Mets.
Does Shane work for the Syracuse?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I visited their ballpark like once a few years ago, and I have 5 Syracuse hats. Here's an old one, and then that one, and then the orange one,
Oh
and
my
then the
God,
South
look at
Street,
that.
and then
Love this so much. Should I
And-
highlight Ed or Eric here?
Yes.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I like their ballpark. I like visiting it, and I like the history of hats. They got the Chiefs, the Sky Chiefs. Yeah, but
Look at Eric doing a minor league baseball hat history here. It's
Uh-oh.
Pat's
Oh, no.
over here.
Okay.
Coming
Oh,
after
God.
Pat.
No,
Coming
no,
after
no.
Pat.
Guy.
Not at all. Pat probably has twice as many hats and twice as much information. But Paul, I completely agree. Like when the New York Mets bought the team and changed the name. I don't live anywhere near Syracuse. It was great visiting, but I was like, oh man.
Yeah. If I go to a Syracuse Mets game, I'm not buying anything, right? Like, what am I going to buy there?
Yeah, buy a Salt City or one of their Copa hats, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, they got some good ones there.
They'd be so much better
See,
off by
Shane
using
knows.
the salt potatoes
Salt
or the
potato.
salt.
Oh
City
yeah,
bananas.
Salt City.
Yes.
Yeah,
Shane,
I agree.
right here.
Yeah. See,
I'm with you.
Oh.
How about the Rumble Pony?
the Marvel. Yeah, see?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So here's my question. Well, a thought/question for you two about the Marvel thing.
Okay.
So Copa has knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely.
Copa is amazing.
There
That
are
was a
very
minor-
few bad Copa logos.
Right. Yeah. So there's variants with all the logos, but for the most part, it's amazing. It was a minor league baseball MILB initiative,
Mhm.
and the cool thing is that each team was directed to work with their local Hispanic Chamber of Commerce or a different. That's what Tri-Cities did. Our Tri-Cities Hispanic Chamber of Commerce or different like community groups and bring them in and work with professional designers and everything. And so then MLB takes over minor league baseball, and this Marvel thing was one of the first nationwide initiatives from MLB and MILB, and it was with Marvel. I love Marvel. I think it's a cool idea, and they're doing some cool stuff. But with the hats and the merch, I'm wondering if they're trying to be another Copa. Or if there'd be a better way. I'm going to buy the hats. I mean, I'm going to buy some hats.
See, I don't think I am. I don't think that I would buy any of these hats.
See, I'm having a hard time. Maybe the isotopes, I just put there's no way, I'm a Bulls fan, Durham Bulls fan, and there's no way in heck.
Yeah.
Double hockey sticks.
Double hockey stick.
Yeah.
I cuss more than you, and I'm a religion teacher.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, Ed. Ed, would you buy? Oh, okay. PK. Would you buy Marvel MILB logo on anything else but would you buy something with it that's not clothing?
No.
Yeah.
it just feels like there is such a huge disconnect, right? Like you said, like with Copa, each team worked with the local Hispanic group,
Yeah.
and they got ideas and they work together and then spent a long time designing this. And if you're telling me that there's some teams that spent a year designing a logo with Marvel and then they came out with that, I'm like, what have you guys been
What did
doing
you
this whole
do?
time?
Well,
And I'll
well,
pay me half the money and then I'll come up with something better.
yeah, and you'd have more money.
Right.
And I'll have more money.
Yeah.
My understanding, and I might be wrong, but what I've heard is that instead of going back and forth with professional MILB or sports branding groups, like Brandios did the Vineros, the Tri-City, and other professional people who've worked in this industry did the Copa brands. What MILB/MLB did is they went to literal Marvel comics. These are men and women who draw for Marvel comics, and said, if you took this mascot, how would it look if it was in a Marvel comic? Which is fun and interesting, but it's also kind of important to remember, I guess, from someone who works for a team. This past year was the first year of the Marvel thing. It's like a 3-year thing. The first year was just specialty jerseys and then like Marvel nights. And so we had the Hulk come out. That was kind of a hit. Kids liked it. We had a caricature artist come out and draw like fans as cartoon characters, Marvel characters. And actually he worked Karina's and my wedding because we loved him so much at the Dust Devils game. So it is kind of a bigger thing, but these logos were kind of like one big part of it. And
it's a letdown so far.
Yeah, that's sort of an interesting point, because I like Marvel a lot. I'm a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
I'm a minor league baseball fan. This collaboration though just like has not landed for me. But I also find that, like we mentioned Jim and his affinity for Star Wars, and he loves like the Star Wars jerseys and whatnot.
Yeah,
those don't really do it for me, right? Like I don't find myself wanting like I like Iron Man, but when they do Iron Man night at the Sea Dogs or whatever, right? Like I don't find myself like, I gotta have that. So
I don't know. I don't. To me, I don't feel like this hit the mark so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna wait, but like, come on, like Rock Hounds. How are you gonna put that thing on a hat?
Yeah.
I have to, like, so many of them, like I just scrolled right past. And at first when this series came out, I was just sort of like, I'm not entirely sure even like what I'm looking at.
What's going on here? So well, and I felt like Ann Shively, who's my good friend, and she works in the front office. She's the assistant general manager for promotions and sponsorships for the Dust Devils. She explained to me the Marvel thing like in 20 seconds, like a year ago. And I was like, oh, I get it. But some of the messaging that has come out with this unveiling, I was like, I don't know if they communicated what they're going for here. Maybe Ann should write up a little blurb or something.
So for example, look at the Buffalo Bisons as a logo, painted, great.
Yeah.
As stitching, I don't know if and this is where Brandios and Taradum and this is where they think about those things, how it's going to look on a cap. And I don't think a lot of these guys thought about this. I'm like, okay, I'm putting some cool color on this. I'm making this look really awesome, but how is this going to look on a cap?
Yeah.
Is this going to translate into a cap? And I don't think none of them have really thought about that part.
Yeah.
Like
Dave
if you
brings
put
up
that Chihuahua is probably going to look like it has some big, thick, huge black, eyebrows.
Right.
When you look at it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're right. That's what sets, Dan Simon and Brandios and these professional designers apart. They understand their tools and the materials. And these comic book artists know their tools and materials, and they're kind of trying to use a different medium.
I was just gonna say that is a different medium for this.
Yeah. Well, and Dave, I'm sorry to keep talking about. Dave made a comment that I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, and Jim in his podcast has brought up like, is Princess Night is not for me. It's for my granddaughter. You know,
Sure.
And Marble Night might be for some little kid.
Yeah,
it's great. But yeah,
I stopped reading Dave's after he said, "I'm a grumpy white."
White House Gray on the road.
It took me a second.
Get off my lawn.
Took me a minute too. The other thing that took me a minute was Pat saying that Midland's hat is going to rock. It took John laughing at that for me to realize.
You had comic book and they're going to draw comic book, not hats.
I will return to my comic book store.
Yep. So we'll see. We still got a whole bunch of other ones to be released. We'll see. The Naturals, they went with.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's not bad, but it's like, again, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see. I don't know.
Ed, what do you do in your promise to buy a hat for whichever of our teams makes it the farthest?
Okay.
Furthest in this in the playoffs.
Yep.
What do you do? I assume if all three of our teams get knocked out this round, do you go by how many games they won, or you to do it by round?
That's a good question.
Like if the Phillies win,
well, I would if Cleveland loses, I will automatically have to buy Donnie a minor league hat from for him because we have a bet going on.
Okay.
So did I, Mike.
But this is not for you, though. You said you were going to buy one
for
yourself.
Whoever. It's like, yeah, exactly. So it's probably going to be between the three of us, right? Because it's already, Anna's out. Patrick is out.
Yeah.
Right. So can't include those.
Okay.
So it'll be between our teams. So whoever wins the most, I guess, the most games.
Okay.
Then I'll go there. And then if they're still two tied, then we'll go by the most runs.
Most runs. Oh, super interesting. Okay.
Like run differential.
Differential. Yeah. So you gotta that way you'll break it,
Does that mean
tied after that, then we'll do a flip of the coin.
We'll have to do a wheel of hats. Like,
there you go. There.
Live on Curved Brim After Dark.
I like it.
I'll tune in for that for sure.
Yeah, I like it. Which
I have another
Marvel is great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
I agree, Lynn. I agree. I have another bet with another Twitter friend. He is a diehard Lake Elsinore Storm fan, and I think he's even like Booster Club member. He's all about the Storm, and he and I kind of met when the Dust Devils were a Padres affiliate because the Storm is also Padres affiliate, and we made a bet that if the Padres go farther or the Mariners go further, then we'll do a hat swap or something.
I thought I was the only person in the world who cared about that distinction between farther and further.
Well, you made me care.
Philip wants to know
I
if
would
you
not
have
wear it every day like Johnny.
snow cone machine.
Oh, okay. Philip has been to a Dust Devils game, and Philip I don't know if you guys follow Philip on Instagram, but he posts the best minor league food photos all the time. And we had, up until this season, Philip, I'm really sorry to say this, but the Dust Devils had the best local snow cone booth called Tropical Snow Cone. And they're still in the Tri-Cities, but they're not at the ballpark anymore. So we have mini donuts. We have mini donuts now, so come for the mini donuts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sugar donuts.
It's the first time hearing it. I spent the whole night at the Eric Carina household, and it's the first I've heard about any mini donuts. Though you should see the breakfast they made for me. It was amazing. They made me breakfast and sent me out on the road. Here was the great thing. Oh, go ahead, Eric.
Well, let's be clear. I did not do anything with breakfast. You're welcome.
Yeah, right. I'll take credit, but it was not me.
This is one of the things that the map on the phone has done, right? Like to me at least anyway. I got out there on the road because I was just like, okay, I got to go from Eric's house to Salt Lake City. It's like I don't know, 7 hours, 9 hours. I forgot what it was exactly. I think it was like 9 hours. And so I just start driving, just me. And I've not been eating great, right? Like, so my stomach also didn't feel that great, but that's neither here nor there. I was just driving along, like 20 minutes into the drive, and all of a sudden, what pops up on the highway? But welcome to Oregon, and I'm like, where the hell am I? how in the world did I end up in Oregon? I had no idea I was going to spend like 3 hours in Oregon that day.
I love that, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's like 20
love
minutes
that.
in. I'm like, how long have I been asleep? Where am I?
We're basically on the Oregon-Washington border.
Yeah. I also feel that way when I leave my own house and drive north, and all of a sudden I'm in Wyoming. I'm like, how in the world did I live that close to Wyoming? It's so strange.
Speaking of nice shirt,
Wyoming.
Yeah, I love that brand. I love that brand.
Yeah, I like that brand too. The team itself is all sorts of wacky, but the brand is good. Yeah.
New ownership coming soon.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, for real? Hey, have you? Okay, I saw or I read somewhere on Twitter that Lancaster, California is getting a team. Has anyone heard anything about this?
Former home of the Jethawks?
Yeah.
I know I had not heard anything about that.
I'm trying to remember if it was it was Indie Ball Report podcast, I think.
It could be a new indie. I was just gonna say it could be a Atlantic or
Pecos League.
Probably not Atlantic.
No, not Atlantic. Horizon.
Atlantic League. Atlantic League is expanding to Southern California.
Yeah, I would do it. Lancaster's out of 10 out of baseball. Jackhawk Stadium.
There you go. Michael knows. Michael's got it.
Oh, good. Oh, proposed team, the Soundbreakers. That's a cool name for a Lancaster team playing at the Hangar. That's a cool name.
Oh. Michael's Johnny on the spot with that.
Michael, I don't know if you could put in the comments, but do you know where I could find more info? The reason I ask is because I will for the rest of my life support the communities who had baseball ripped away from them. And I visited my good buddy who was the Lancaster broadcaster play-by-play radio guy a few years ago. I visited him at a Jethawks game. Now he works for the Storm. But
they already have a logo and everything.
Really?
Yeah, they have a logo, but it still says proposed expansion team in the Pecos League, but they have a logo.
I think I saw the
Soundbreakers.com.
Hey, there we go. Sound breaking news.
I'll
never be invited back. Sorry.
I love this. Go you. I still like the Roswell one. Their logo is still awesome as hell.
Yeah. I like the train robbers, the Bakersfield train robbers.
Train robbers.
That's a fun logo.
I love that logo because it looks like those old geometric like shape blocks I played with as a kid.
Like Spy Magazine. That's I was sort of like
Bakersfield train. Oh my god, that is so good.
Isn't that
so
good?
Bad at the same time.
This Soundbreakers logo, the plane could use some work. I'm sorry to say. I don't mean to be critical.
No offense, but the whole Pecos League's logos could use some work.
Pecos League's logos are not great. Sorry. I don't mean to be negative about anything. Who am I to be
You're
negative?
so negative.
Who am I to say?
Saguaros. Don't you like that one?
I'm so ready. I'm so ready for some. What's today? Today is the 12th.
Today is Wednesday.
I'm 5 days from my first ever Arizona Fall League game.
Yeah. Whoa, dude. I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah, I'm going to be visiting Baseball by Design wildlife correspondent Ranger Amy Burnett in Arizona.
Ranger Amy.
And we're going.
Can she have a theme song when it's her segment on your show?
God, we need someone to put together a Ranger Amy theme song.
Oh, what's that one?
Brian Fellows, Safari Planet. From Saturday Night Live? No, okay.
There's very little info right now, but Pecos League website updates constantly during the off season. So, they're just added Maysville, California, Blackwell Flycatchers in Oklahoma. All right, look at them expanding. I like it.
How about that? Flycatchers. I like that idea.
That's a cool one. I like Flycatchers. Again, if they have a much better logo, that'd be awesome. And if they sell, hats, that'd be awesome too. But they don't.
Yeah, sigh. All right, it's time for the Phillies to do a thing here. They're down 3-0.
What inning?
We're going. We just finished the seventh.
It's not happening.
Okay.
It's not. Oh, listen ahead.
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
It's playoff baseball, baby.
Yes, it is.
There's always something.
So can we figure out why is it that the number one team, being Houston, not have the prime time, and New York has it
'Cause it's
when
New
they're the
York.
number two? Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that, but I'm just saying, like, guys, come on now.
I know. This has gotten me too. I understand that the networks only care about market size. That kind of goes against what baseball is about, but that's what MLB does these days.
They do everything that is okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, but why can't we have different games going on concurrently so that people in Seattle or in Washington State could watch their Mariners, like after school gets out or after work, you know what I mean? Like
not while at work. Why would you do that? Well, that's just crazy.
Yeah. It does remind me though, like you said, of like March Madness, the first 2 days of March Madness.
That weekend was
like,
just like that.
I might just have to take
the other one that started. It's just boom.
And you know how many people take those days off of work? Maybe if this playoff format continues, we're just going to need to start taking days off work and watch wall-to-wall baseball those first few days.
I'm okay with that.
So I want to combine some ideas here because Ranger Amy is texting me on the side here about this.
Oh.
And Ranger Amy is an accomplished singer, by the way. She's quite a good singer. Yeah.
Could do her own theme song.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Now I'm thinking we might have her sing her own She Blinded Me with Science.
I don't know that song, Paul.
You don't know She Blinded Me with Science?
Would you sing it for us?
I don't know that song either.
Or at least it makes it up in different ways. Don't give the same team to the same song. I agree, Mike. I was wondering the same. If you can't be at the game, I'd almost rather listen to the radio at work and watch it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with
It has made work more fun the past few weeks, I will say.
Yeah.
Well,
have it on the side.
That's sort of where I am with it. Like, is I like the day games except when they involve my team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If they could find a way to have it just be not the Phillies during the day, then that would be fine.
What are you talking about? I just had the whole weekend of nothing but afternoon baseball for the Guardians. I get it.
Yeah, that's true. You did have like afternoon games like all day, every day.
Yeah. It was like it's gonna be like it was if it would have gone all three, it would have been the early game and all of them.
Oh, here you go. Now she's back.
Oh yeah, Amy's in. She's in.
Love it.
My fandom of Ranger Amy just continues to grow.
Right?
Sure.
Like, I mean, it's just how it goes.
See, as I said on Twitter the other day, she's going to slowly phase me out entirely of the, of the podcast. No one will know the difference or care.
And I was just telling you about the ones that you were doing at the which
at
one
the
was
Aqua
it?
Sox game.
At the Aqua Sox games, both of you talking, and all of a sudden,
watching the game,
just watching them all.
So we're recording a segment about bees for a Salt Lake Bees episode at the Arizona Fall League game. So
perfect.
This is gonna be great.
I love that bees logo. Oh my
so
gosh, it's so good. Hey, on Saturday, I'm trying to figure out what time this would be on the East Coast. Well, 1 p.m. Pacific time, Karina and I will be at Game 3 between Seattle and Houston in Seattle.
Nice.
We got like seats like in the second to last row on the 300 level, and we'll be wearing our Northwest green and navy. So look for us.
I will try.
Thank you,
Shane. I did my grocery shopping during that game, so it's don't feel bad. Eric, I am so happy for you that you get to go to a playoff game in Seattle.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Thank you.
Here he goes. Amy's being adorable here, everybody. Pat Larson has her new full title here: Baseball by Design, Wildlife Correspondent, and Musical Extraordinaire, Ranger Amy.
You got to put that on the show notes of your podcast. The whole thing.
If Amy updates her Twitter bio with that, then I'll
do
make it in the show notes.
Ranger Amy, do it.
Do it.
Eric, I have been to three playoff games. One in 1993 when the Phillies got absolutely waxed by the Braves, 13-2. That was a series where the Phillies won the series in 6, but like the 2 games that they lost by 10 runs.
Oh, so the run differential wasn't
The
in your
run
favor.
differential went against the Phillies, but the Phillies won the series. And then again in 2008,
Hey.
NLCS Game 2, one of the most
Yeah.
fun experiences I've ever had. Like,
Oh,
it's
man.
just so intense. Like I've never been in a baseball game where like every single pitch was
Yeah.
just like you're just holding your breath on literally every single pitch.
That's
And it was just like I was so nervous, it was almost not fun. But then but then when they actually won the game, it was just like such a release. It was so amazing. So so that was as much fun as I've had, I think, as a baseball game.
Oh,
And then weirdly,
thanks,
I
Matt.
went to in 2009, I went to a game in Colorado where the Phillies knocked the Rockies out of the playoffs.
Oh,
that was the
I
one where
remember that series.
Phillies won 4-3. They were down going into the ninth, and Ryan Howard hit a 2-run double to put them up 4-3 with 2 outs, and they held on and won. It was amazing. So,
dang. Any advice for my first playoff game?
Get there,
get all in, buy a bunch of stuff, buy a bunch of playoff stuff.
Yeah. Buy a bunch of stuff. Buy stuff in the parking lot. If there's like some guy selling t-shirts out of like the back of a truck or something, just get that. Just get everything. Get everything.
Yeah. Do it, dude.
And get there, like, I don't know if it's a 1 o'clock game, get there at like 8 in the morning. Just like soak up the whole like
and just
that's what I've been saying to Karina. Good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Can I play this back for her? So
absolutely.
It'll be saved for posterior on online. So
it'll be on YouTube. It is all there.
Did you say saved for posterior?
I did say
okay.
Sure did. That just happened. I want to get back to something that Shane was talking about. Like he went an afternoon nap during the 15-inning Guardians game. So I went to. I took my daughter to my sister's house, which is an hour away. Stay there for like 20 minutes, came back, and I still had enough time to watch the Guardians win from the comfort of my own home. I mean, yeah, like that's how annoying that game was.
That's annoying or epic?
No, it wasn't epic because it was just annoying.
We need a Ranger Amy show now.
We're talking about other stuff, and all the comments are about Ranger Amy.
There's a whole Ranger Amy thread going on over here.
I'm looking for just in case. I'm doing some looking around of what kind of hats you guys have at the Mariners. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, man.
I love the Mariners brand. I love the whole like teal and green thing. Running buddy Chris just painted his garage, the interior of his garage, Mariners colors.
Oh my gosh! Nice. Will you send me a picture sometime?
Oh, absolutely. I'll get him to. I've asked him to text me some pictures of it. But like one of the fun things that I was doing was he wanted to he needed to tell the Ace Hardware or Home Depot, I forget where he was buying the paint. He was getting Sherwin-Williams paint, and he needed to convert the Pantone colors for the Pantone matching system colors that he had found online for the Mariners to a Sherwin-Williams color palette that they could use. And so he was like texting me. I'm at work, right? Like trying to get stuff done. I'm on a meeting and he's texting me. He's like, the Mariners Northwest green is Pantone such and such. He's like, I need the CMYK breakdown and and I'm just like, I'm running interference for Chris there.
God bless you.
Was he at the Home Depot?
I don't know where he was. It was
because I know that I think it's Home Depot that has the Major League colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Major League colors, NBA, NFL. I think it's Home Depot that has them, there. So
that's awesome.
Mariners with a Z. The
Northern Colorado Mariners.
Yeah.
I believe that, Pat. So Karina and I got married 2.5 weeks ago, and when we were trying to decide our wedding colors, my favorite colors have always been orange because my high school, Kennewick High, was orange and black, and teal for the Mariners, technically Northwest green. So when we were thinking, and we were getting married in late September, so orange is kind of the autumn colors.
Yeah.
And then so we literally, when we designed our colors, and Karina works in style and fashion, so she knows Pantone numbers and all those other things that I don't know about. But we literally had Mariners Northwest green, Vineros purple, Vineros de Tri-City purple, and then burnt orange.
Okay.
And, I would love to paint my garage those colors.
Oh, sounds amazing.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Incredible. Yeah. I was thinking like of painting them Phillies colors, but as much stuff as I like about the Phillies, their colors are not one of them. The red and blue just feels like a circus to me. So,
how about burgundy and powder blue?
See, that's the thing. Do the retro 70s colors. See,
I was just looking at the baby blue hat for you.
So good. They should. I mean, I get it. It's the cradle of democracy or whatever the phrase is.
First capital.
That's it. But come on, if you like with the Padres going back, the Phillies need to go back. Not full time most of the time.
The funny thing about that is that they've been, and the Brewers did too, right? Like the Brewers went back to the old MB.
To the Seattle Pilots colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Christ, who played for 1 year in 1969. That's a true story. The Seattle Pilots were for 1 year.
Karina and I visited the Lowe's store that is now on the site of the old Six Stadium where the Pilots played, and it's now a hardware store.
Yeah, I went to a game in Milwaukee, and they did this whole like Bud Selig is such a hero for bringing baseball to us, and it's just like he stole them from Seattle.
Well, I was just gonna say overnight.
Yeah, exactly. Like yoink, what a hero.
It's like the Oklahoma City Thunder trying to wear Sonic's throwback jersey.
Oh my God.
You should never do that.
Yeah. Or like the Carolina Hurricanes wearing the
Hartford Whalers.
Whalers, yeah. Come on.
Hey, we've gone over again. We always do this, but it's easier with Eric this time because
sorry.
Well,
darn
pretty
it.
easy. Just keep talking. So Eric, thank you so much for joining this week.
Oh my gosh.
This was a lot of fun.
I would love to do it more. I love Anna, not just her voice, but her person.
Okay.
But no, I love her. And so if one of you two need to take a break sometime, you just
will do. Absolutely, man.
Actually, I think I am going to be flying back from Arizona Wednesday night next week. So I think we may need another sub here. So
there you go.
I might just be hanging out. So yeah, why don't you call me?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys. This is really cool, and thanks to everyone who commented. It's really cool to see your names and your comments.
Isn't this fun? I have so much fun with this every week. This is such a blast. So.
I look forward to Wednesday nights, man. Every single Wednesday. Look forward to this.
Gentlemen, good luck to both of your teams in the coming days.
We got this, man. Go Guardians.
You too.
We've all got our work cut out for us here. Let's hope that by the end of the day tomorrow, we're all at 1-1.
By the way,
amen.
I laugh at every time, the announcer's like, oh yeah, the Cleveland Indians. I mean the Guardians. Every time I love it. There's like, you guys had a whole year to really figure this out, guys.
Right.
Yeah. I love you guys. Thank you for this.
Later, guys.
You're the best, Eric. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Oh, wait. Here
comes the song.